I want to talk about a topic that really hits home for all of us, I think, not just as traders, but also in our personal lives. Um, and if you guys were to guess it, you probably would. We're talking about the F word. Now, I don't know if you guys know what the F word is, but it's the word that paralyzes most people, and that's fear. Okay. And I don't want you guys to think that this is another lecture, hold up. Because on this session, I really want to do things differently. Okay. When I'm talking about fear here, because I see this all the time, right? Fear doesn't pick favorites. Okay. It's like that one trade that looked promising and then suddenly wasn't. Bam. Right. Fear's right there for a lot of traders. It's knocking on your door. And it's one of the top three things that I've witnessed that holds traders back, not just in trading, but in life as well. But here's the deal, guys. We have to really ask ourselves, what is fear? And I know some of you probably heard all these fancy acronyms, false evidence, appear in real, or, forget everything and run. It sounds cute, but whatever. Okay. They, they all point to something crucial. And that's what we've got to observe here. Your reaction to fear can make or break you as a trader and as an individual. And there's no denying that. Now, I want you guys to think of it this way, okay? Fear is just like any other emotion if you wasn't aware of that. And it's not your enemy, but neither is it your best friend. Okay? It's kind of in this gray zone. But here's the kicker. If you let fear pin you down, you're going to be in for a rough ride, right? So imagine you're about to take a trade that you really like. Um, and it's a trade that's going to take you out of drawdown, or it's a trade that's going to pass your challenge. You check the charts, you do your analysis, you get the confluences, everything starts to line up. And then what happens? Fear creeps in. The questions are, what do you do at that stage? Do you back out or do you push through? And that's really what I want to talk about, because what does fear really mean to you, right? How is it affecting your trading or your day-to-day life? And more importantly, guys, how can we flip the script on fear and start using it to our advantage? Because if we face it, in a market that technically never sleeps, being able to dance with fear really is going to be your ticket to success, right? So I want you to think of it this way. You're out there in a financial wilderness. Okay. Now I want you to imagine that you're trekking through, let's say, a dense forest, which is the Forex market. And then suddenly, right, you stumble upon a grizzly bear, which is a market down run or a downturn, right? Markets are not favorable. And you're watching your potential trade turn against you towards your stop loss that was in profit. And then all of a sudden, there's this unpredictable cup, which is the market volatility. That pulse of fear that you have is natural. What your body is saying to you is what your body is saying to you in those circumstances is, heads up, guys, this is no small deal. I need you to be aware of this. And if you guys remember the old saying, which is you don't have to outperform the market by miles, you just need to make smarter decisions than the trader next to you. So fear, guys, you have to understand, is simply a primal alarm system. Okay. It's technically what keeps us alive. It pushes us into that fight or flight or freeze kind of modes. But here's the twist in trading, and just like in life, if you don't work out that fear response muscle, and say that again, if you don't work out that fear response muscle, it's going to work against you and it will freeze you in your tracks. And it's going to leave you watching a prime opportunity in the markets that you could be taking whiz by because, you were too scared to act. Now, this is a very common thing and it happens to all of us. No one is exempt from it. But I want you to think about how often what we fear actually happens and take some time to think about in your own time. But I saw this staggering stat once that says that something like 95 to 98% of our fears never come to fruition. So whether those fears are grounded in reality or not, they can immobilize us just the same, guys. But here's the question, right? How do we overcome fear? How do we face our fears head on? How do we condition ourselves through, or how do we condition ourselves? We spoke about many techniques, and I'm not going to go through them today because you know what works for you, and I'm sure hope that you know what works for you. But you can think about things like practice, get an experience, breathing techniques, yoga, whatever it may be, you name it, right? There is a whole arsenal at your disposal to ensure that fear doesn't get the final say. But we need to look at this as at a different way if we're going to overcome it. Because what's fascinating about fear is its hidden gift. And when you think about fear, what happens during that state? You become aware, right? It's like a loud blaring alarm forcing you to pay attention. Hey, this trade is crucial, right? Don't mess it up. Don't jump into the trade. Don't do anything impulsive. Make sure you focus. Make sure you get your confluence. Give it everything you've got. Fear, awareness. And here's my favorite part, guys. Fear's intimate dance with courage. What is the opposite of fear? Courage. It's a beautiful dance that is or can become harmonious. But you have to see it that way, right? Courage isn't about the absence of fear. It's about acting in spite of it. Okay. It's about staring down that bear that you see and then making your move with precision and confidence. And yeah, of course, guys, like fear is going to throw challenges your way. But we have to see these challenges as simply just as an opportunity for us to develop new strategies, right? To stand taller. And I want you guys to embrace this because in every coaching session that we have, or I have, the patterns are the same. Traders come in charged, ready to conquer the world with their plans, trading plans. But when it's time to step into the arena, to put those plans into action, what happens? Hesitation creeps in. So we've got to start changing that narrative, right? We've got to start to condition ourselves to harness fear, right? To transform it into a tool for sharp focus and unwavering courage. Because at the end of the day, it's not about just having a plan, is it? It's about executing it with conviction, no matter what bears you find in the market's forest. And there was a time, guys, I was standing on the edge of what felt like the world, okay? I was looking down probably about 800 feet. Far from a high jump for a lot of people, but for me at the time, it was absolutely petrified. I was absolutely petrified. And my whole being screamed a solid nope, not happening. But like a mofo, I'd climbed up there. Every instinct, every fiber was on high alert. And I was telling my things like, you got to be out of your mind to be doing this. You can't do this, climb back down. This is the things that I was telling myself and shouting at myself. And let me tell you something, guys, standing there on the brink of a sheer drop, it's kind of like a showdown between your will and your primal instincts. And jumping off that cliff, guys, wasn't just about seeking thrills. It was a monumental battle against fear itself. And you have to think about that. Isn't that what we face every day in the markets? That moment of truth, right? Where every part of you might be resisting a decision that could lead to unprecedented success, or conversely, a lesson that is waiting to be learned. Our bodies, guys, cannot differentiate the fear of actual danger and the fear of the unknown. Did you know that? That resistance we feel, the hesitancy before making a significant or taking a significant trade, or before executing a strategy that we've painstakingly developed, it's all too real. It's like our personal cliff edge, 80 to 100 foot high every single damn time. And then you watch others leap into the unknown, being young, adventurous, doing their flips backwards, forwards, whatever, off those cliffs, taking bold, calculated risks. It's inspiring to us. But what they do is they embody what it means to confront fear, right? To dance with it rather than to flee. And that resistance, that moment of intense hesitation, is where the growth happens. I'll say it again. That resistance, that moment of intense hesitation, is where growth happens. And it's where we find out what we're truly made of. And it's not just about the physical act of overcoming something that may be daunting, guys. It's about what it represents. Because each time we push past that fear, we're not just moving a step closer towards our goals. We are expanding our capacity to handle whatever the market or life throws our way. So fear, in essence, is simply just a barrier. It's a milestone, okay? Crossing it isn't just about dismissing it. It's about understanding its nature and harnessing that energy, right? It's about converting what once held us back into a powerful force that propels us forward. And me standing on that edge, I had to make a choice. I had to make a choice not to let fear define the boundaries of my potential. And that's not the worst part, because the night before that jump, you're pondering the end game, right? It wasn't just about the physical act of jumping. It was a profound reflection of overcoming the very thing that keeps me rooted, or so many rooted in the same place that they stay in, right? Unable to chase their dreams. And fear has this mighty grip, right? It's going to stop you in your tracks. But facing it, choosing to leap despite, every instinct telling me otherwise, that's where the transformation happens, right? That's where we truly learn to trust in our preparation, in our resilience, and in our belief that our end game isn't at the bottom of a metaphorical mountain, but it's beyond the barriers that we break through. So how can we change the acronym of fear? Face everything and rise. Because, guys, on the other side of that fear is the version of us that's been waiting to break free, right? Ready to conquer the markets and any other challenges that you may be facing with a newfound strength and a newfound courage. And if you start embracing this mindset, guys, I really want to encourage every single one of you to do this, to confront your fears head on, whether it's the fear of losing the trade, the fear of not living up to your own expectations. The principle remains the same. Face it, learn from it, and let it be the catalyst of your growth. Because fear, when it's embraced as we're describing, right, it's not a hurdle anymore. It becomes a gateway, right? It's the fierce execution of adventure and relentless living that's going to really propel you guys forward and really experience the real essence of life. Basically urging you to suck the marrow out of existence. And this approach, guys, transforms fear from a daunting shadow into a catalyst for extraordinary experiences. And when I jumped off that cliff, it wasn't just about conquering a physical challenge. It was the act of profound courage, right? This was an affirmation of living fully and fearlessly. And every trader knows the feeling of standing on their own metaphorical cliff edge, right? Whether it's taking a trade and holding it longer, entering a riskier trade, pivoting strategies. The initial resistance, the intense wave of that fear that you face, isn't just a signal to retreat. It's a challenge to leap, right? To trust in your skills, to trust in your knowledge and the instincts that you've honed over countless of trades. And then the exhilaration, upon taking the next steps starts to echoes the thrill of a successful trade against all the odds, right? Of outmoving the market when every fiber of you wants to resist. That's when it gets great, exhilarating. And it's a vivid reminder, guys, that as you gain more experience and you become more wiser and you start to use fear in this way as opposed to allowing it to hold you back, your perception of risk evolves, right? You weigh decisions more heavily, pondering on the whys and what ifs with greater intensity. But in these moments, of doubt, whatever it may be, you're going to find your most impactful lessons and growth. And just look at your stories, guys, of your personal transformation, right? The ventures that you've gone into in terms of the unknown, right? This underscores a universal truth that cannot be denied. Behind every fear, right, lies potential for beauty and transformation. And it's really about you guys choosing to live that life that's relentless and audaciously fearless. And embracing fear as an opportunity, not just for a venture, but for a deep, meaningful progress. Because if you see this, guys, we live in a world where fear and love are the only true constants. Believe it or not, right? It's a testament to the idea that fear at its core is a cry for love. And it's like an invitation to really step into a space of like empathy and understanding. But as traders, as traders, when we adventure the financial markets and life and whatever else, the message starts to become very clear. Fear will always be a companion of your journey. But it's how we respond to that fear, okay? Do we respond to it with love, with courage, with unwavering commitment to your growth, to your purpose? What defines your path? Love, in its most profound form, becomes the antidote to fear. And that's when you're going to start to turn on the lights, turning your darkness moments into opportunities for real profound change and realization. So when you find yourself, guys, facing the bear, whether it's the market, whether it's life, you have to remember it's not just about the speed at which you run, but it's about the direction in which you move. It's about knowing when to stand your ground, when to leap, and when to let go. When to let love guide you through that fear. Because you have to understand, in the heart of fear lies the potential for your greatest acts of courage, love, relentlessness, and audacious living. So you've got to embrace this narrative, guys. Okay, not just as a strategy for trading, but as a philosophy for your life. It's about building the courage muscles, about moving through fear with purpose and with passion. And it's about recognizing that on the other side of fear, there are endless possibilities waiting to be discovered. So what are we getting at here? Well, everyone, look, this is a universal dance with fear. Okay? It's about stepping into the ring, even when every part of you is screaming to take a step back. Right? It's about doing the things that scare you because those are the exact actions that will propel you forward. And I want to break this down, right? Fear is simply a giant wall between you and your next level. That's what it is, right? It's telling you all the reasons you can't, all the reasons you shouldn't, or you won't, or all the reasons why you won't succeed. But guys, what if you choose to listen to a different narrative? What if instead of being halted by the fear of losing a trade or failure, you push through because the possibility of success, growth, and learning was too enticing to ignore? Right? Think about a gym analogy. Right? Everyone starts going. Everyone, when everyone starts to go, whether it's before in the past, whatever you're doing, you might feel a little bit out of place initially. People are looking at you, unsure how to use the equipment. I mean, I feel that way sometimes when I go to new gyms. When I go to my gym, I know where everything is. When I go to new gyms, it's like, oh, what am I doing? Where's the equipment? How do I use this one? You get a little bit self-conscious about how you look. But if you think about it, isn't that just fear talking, right? Telling you stories to keep you from stepping into your power, right? The thing about fear is part of the process. When I say trust the process, we're going to include fear now, right? Making mistakes, feeling awkward. That's all part of the journey towards excellence. Whether it's taking your first challenge for the first time, whether it's open up a new personal account for the first time, whether it's facing um, facing down any other personal challenges. The initial discomfort paves the way for growth and mastery. Simple, right? And it's this shift in perspective. It isn't just about denying fear its power. It's about redefining our relationship with it, right? It's about seeing fear not as a stop sign, but as a signpost, right? Pointing us towards our next adventure or the next leap of faith. So ask yourself this, right? Who would you be if fear didn't hold the reins? Imagine the impact that you can have, the growth that you'll be able to experience, the things that you'll be able to accomplish, right? It's not about erasing fear, it's about moving through it with intention, right? With courage and with the heart, with a heart open to endless possibilities on the other side. And we've got to carry this mindset into every challenge, every goal, every dream that you have. And you've got to redefine what it means to be scared, not as a signal to stop, but as a sign that we're about to do something truly meaningful. Because on the other side, guys, right? On the other side of fear lies not just success, but a version of yourself that you are yet to meet, ready and waiting to be unleashed. And harnessing fear in this way, guys, turns it from being a barrier into a bridge, leading you towards not just professional success, but personal fulfillment and growth. And you need to let fear be the catalyst that propels you into the relentless pursuit of your passions, your goals, and the life that you've always wanted. Because the journey through fear is something almost all of us will grapple with. We've seen a striking statistic. 80% of individuals in life are held back by fear. It's not just a number, it's real. And it's a mirror reflecting a universal struggle. And unfortunately, it's the common thread that ties together the fabric of our experiences in life. If fear can instill us, if fear can be instilled in us from a child, from being a child, if fear can be instilled in us from a child, if fear can be instilled in us from childhood, right, as a protective mechanism, and then morphs into an invisible barrier that stifles personal growth and potential in the future, how damaging do you think it can be if you don't start to shift the way we approach fear? It's intriguing, right? How fear, initially a guardian, becomes a gatekeeper, right? Preventing us from venturing into the unknown. Messed up. It's not just about avoiding physical harm, guys. It's the emotional and the psychological boundaries that we draw around ourselves, right? Boundaries based on fears of loss, failure, of ridicule, whatever it may be, of not meeting, the often unrealistic standards we set for ourselves or perceives or perceive others to hold us to. And then we have the addiction to certainty that, or being a perfectionist, that many people hold on to. This craving for control, for knowing exactly how things will pan out, is simply fear disguised as prudence. And it's a survival mechanism that's gone wrong, right? Trying to convince us that the safety net lies in the familiar, right? That any decision from the path that we've mapped out is a step towards chaos. Bonkers. But if we were to reframe this narrative, what could happen? What if instead of viewing the unknown as a dark abyss, we see it as a canvas, vast, untouched, waiting for your colors, right? What if the questions shift from what if I fail to what if I fly? Right? This shift in perspective from fearing the unknown to embracing it is a leap of faith. Faith in yourself, in your resilience, in your potential that lies just beyond the horizon of your current vision. And embracing that uncertainty, guys, isn't about reckless abandonment, right? It's about acknowledging that the quest for absolute certainty is simply a mirage, right? It's understanding that in life, in all its complexities, cannot be contained within the rigid boundaries of your fears. It's about learning to dance with the unknown, to find rhythm in chaos, and just to see each step not as a potential misstep, but as a move in a grand or intricate dance. Right? The fear of losing a trade or not passing a challenge or not ever becoming a successful trader, these are just simply fear spectators. That's all they are. Right? They just shadows that are looming large in your mind, but have no substance when faced with scrutiny. Right? They're simply the echoes of past experiences, guys, past insecurities, doubts that you may have had that have no place in the reality that you choose to create from today moving forward. And when you dissect these fears, when you ask yourself the right questions, and one simple one, what's the worst that can happen? What we often find in terms of the answer is far less terrifying than fear itself, than the fear itself. And guys, all the while we journey through fear, we're armed with the mantra, uh, fear the fear and do it anyway, right? This is a testament to the transformative power of facing our fears head on, right? It's a reminder that fear, while a formidable opponent, is also a great teacher, right? It shows us where our edges are, where we need to push to expand our boundaries, right? Where the true growth lies. So as you guys start to navigate these complexities with this new outlook on in your personal and professional lives, please remember that fear is just simply a signpost. Is a signpost, not a stop sign. Okay? It marks the point where your comfort zone ends and where the real adventure begins. It marks the point where your comfort zone ends and the real adventure begins. And I want you guys to embrace this uncertainty. Okay? I want you to know that on the other side of fear lies not just success, but a discovery. Discovery of your true potential, of depths that you haven't explored yet, and heights that you haven't yet reached, but you deserve to reach. And when you go through this journey, the understanding and the acceptance of fear, let it become a natural part of your human experience. Okay? It's not about eliminating fear, but simply learning to move through it with grace and determination. Because if you're able to embrace your fears, if you're able to acknowledge them and then step boldly beyond them, you're going to unlock the doors of realms, guys, of possibility that you never knew existed. And I don't want you to wait for perfection. I want you to move forward now. You want to be imperfect, but unstoppable. And the insights that we're talking about today, they shed light on a crucial aspect of fear. Its contagious nature and how it's been wielded as a tool for manipulation across various spheres of our life, be it news, be it the government, be it taxes, be it our parents telling us not to trade, whatever it may be. This manipulation with fear, whether it stems from institutions, societal norms, or just even family patterns, this underscores a need for a nuanced understanding of fear. Because recognizing fear's place and its potential to spread and influence behavior is key, guys, to you reclaiming control over your own actions and decisions. If it's already controlling you in one way or another, why not use it to your advantage? Because if fear is unchecked, right, it has the power to dictate not just personal choices, but to shape generational behaviors. And if you think about a mother who's been bitten by a dog, okay, when she was a child, and she grows up to fear dogs, eventually she has children, and her children never encounter a dog while they're young, but she instills her fear into those children. What's going to happen to those poor kids? They're going to be scared of dogs. And the story of teaching fear of dogs into children, right? This is a fear passed from a mother to a child. This serves as a powerful metaphor for how fears, rational or otherwise, okay, are perpetuated. And it highlights, guys, the responsibility that we carry in recognizing and curbing the spread of fear, ensuring that you are not unknowingly fostering these limiting beliefs in yourself, firstly, and in those around you. And there's also another important principle, because the anticipation of fear often possesses a greater barrier than the reality of what we fear, right? This anticipation, fueled by the what ifs, will stifle the joy of exploration that you can experience and the richness of experience that life has to offer you. Right? The mother who teaches their child to fear dogs because of their experience is really advised to refrain from projecting fear onto children or onto others for things that haven't yet happened. This is a poignant reminder, right? Such a simple metaphor, but it challenges us to really confront how often we let, let's say, the shadow of our past fears, current fears, into the future fears loom over the present, right? Darkening moments that haven't yet unfolded. And this dialogue, guys, about fear, especially within the context of achieving personal and professional dreams, it calls for a deeper introspection, right? It asks us to examine closely where fear takes the driver's seat in our life. And most of the time, often steering us away from the paths that we desire to tread. So whether it's the fear of losing trades, the apprehension about stepping into a new venture, or the trepidation into breaking from societal or family expectations, the common thread in the paralyzing effect of unchallenged fear is always dominant. And so the challenge then is not to eradicate fear entirely, because that's impossible, but to develop a relationship with it that allows you to grow and move forward, right? It's about discerning between fear that guards against obviously genuine danger and the fear that guards the gates to your growth. And this discernment, guys, paves the way for actions that align more closely with your aspirations and values, rather than reactions that are just mere products of ingrained fears. So as you guys continue to navigate your journeys, whether it's personal development, professional development, trading, just your simple day-to-day life, living, whatever, I want you guys to strive to keep fear in its rightful place. I don't want it to be a barrier for you anymore. Let it be a beacon, right? You don't want to be moving towards a safety harbor. You want to get out there and sail, the sea, the vast, uncharted waters of your potential, right? You got to recognize fear's role, its contagious nature, and its potential to distort your perceptions. You can then begin to dismantle the barriers that it's going to create, opening yourselves up to a life that is defined not by limitations, but by possibilities. And in doing so, guys, you will not only free yourself from the chains of, inherited fears, but you're also going to be able to set a precedented, you're going to be able to set an example to those that follow. And remember, guys, we teach by example, children, parents as well, partners, spouses, friends, whoever. You'll be able to do this for others, to how to navigate life's uncertainties, with courage, with openness. You're going to be able to shape legacies, but not with a fearless pursuit, but with what truly matters. And this narrative, guys, this narrative we're talking about, interwoven with personal and anecdotes and reflections. This is offering you guys a blueprint for confronting and reshaping your relationship with fear. And I'm inviting you to embark on this journey of self-discovery and empowerment. And I want you guys to challenge, I want to challenge you guys to look beyond the constraints of fear and just really start to embrace the boundless potential that lies within each and every one of you. Because this exploration, guys, of fear as both an inhibitor and a catalyst provides you with a multi-dimensional view of how fear operates within your life. Right? Fear, while, obviously omnipresent, it offers you a choice: succumb or conquer. And the key, guys, really lies in recognizing fear's role as a signal, right? Prompting you to engage with your environment more mindfully, whether it be in your personal endeavors, professional endeavors, trading journey, interpersonal relationship, whatever. These insights share or highlight fear's duality. Okay. It can paralyze, or it holds the potential to propel you forward through the cultivation and development of your courage and resilience. And guys, this duality underscores the importance of developing a relationship with fear that is not defined by avoidance, but by engagement and simple understanding. And it also serves as a potent reminder of the long shadows our fears can cast, not only on your own lives, but also on those that come after us. And if you recognize this, that you are called to intentionally address and rewrite fear's narratives, not only for your own sake, but for the benefit of future generations, start shifting this very quickly. Because the concept of distinguishing between fear and real danger, providing you guys with this framework for assessing your reactions and responses, you can think of fear in 4 ways: flight, fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. We change the word. And then you can start to expand your understanding of fear's manifestations and really the importance of context in determining the appropriateness of your responses to that. Because the addition of the 4th F, fawn, this simply just highlights the complexity of human psychology, guys, and the varied ways in which individuals can cope with perceived threats. And the positive aspect of these fear responses, such as the acute awareness associated with freezing and the boundary setting associated with fighting. This provides, guys, you with a valuable lens through which for you to view your fearful reactions. And I hope this underscores the potential for growth and learning that is embedded within your fearful experiences. Really encouraging you guys to harness these moments for personal development and empowerment, because the dialogue around fear really challenges us to reevaluate our perceptions and interactions with fear, right? It invites us to learn or lean into fear, right? To dissect its origins and implications and to use it as a tool for growth. So if you're gradually exposing yourself to your fears, you're going to start to build resilience and confidence, and you're going to start proving to yourself that you are capable of overcoming obstacles and reaching new heights. So, guys, I really do hope this offers you a holistic approach to understanding and navigating fear, because by embracing fear as part of your human experience, acknowledging its potential for positive transformation, and really taking intentional steps towards facing and overcoming it, you're going to unlock a door to life lived fully and courageously that you didn't know existed. And this journey of confronting your fear, armed with awareness, intention, and resilience, is going to pave the way for a more richer, more fulfilling existence. And it's not going to be marked by the absence of fear, but by your triumphant dance with it. And this narrative, woven from the threads of individual experiences and insights, this just simply serves, guys, as a testament to the power of collective wisdom. Okay, in addressing one of life's most pervasive challenges, and that is fear. And now this needs to be a call to action for every single one of you to confront your fears, right? To learn from them, to ultimately to transcend them, right? Enabling you to lead lives characterized by courage, purpose, and limitless possibilities. And I also want this to serve as a reminder of the significance of returning to the right frequency. We talk about this all the time because it speaks volumes about the underlying energy that drives your actions and results. Okay, because it's not just about the strategies that you employ on the charts, but the energetic state from which you operate at all the time. And this concept of frequency alignment, the concept of frequency alignment as a catalyst for success really emphasizes the holistic approach needed to overcome these obstacles and really achieve your goals. And I want this to be a reminder that your internal state, your beliefs, your emotions, your energy, it plays a crucial role in shaping your external reality. So to embrace fear as a signal for growth, to align with the right frequency, leverage the power of this community for mutual success. This is an invitation to step into a world of possibilities, supported obviously by strategies that work, energized community that ultimately uplifts and empowers. So, guys, as you start to move forward, just please carry these lessons with you. Carry the lesson of courage, the importance of frequency alignment, the power of the community. Commit to taking action. Okay, share your journeys, support one another, and in doing so, we not only elevate our own lives, but we contribute to a larger movement of positive transformation for others. Because the world needs us now more than ever, right? To step up, to shine, to share the light with others. So I want you guys to come off of this session today, and I want it to be the moment that you choose to rise, to soar, and to make your dreams a tangible reality. Right? Collectively, together, combined with the strength and the vibrancy of this community. Okay? So, guys, let's make it happen. Thank you for being on the session and being here. And I will catch you on Monday.